Welcome again, everyone, to this episode of 3. We're on episode 10 of season 3 of 3 right now. I'm here with our clinical hypnotherapist, Tammy Reutman, and our master astrologer, Chris Gray, and I am your intuitive tarot consultant. I could talk today. And we're here to actually answer a specific question for you and then give you clarity from 3 different perspectives, 3 different angles about your issue. I want to thank John Stiles with WWDBTV for allowing us to broadcast on his amazing channel. So if you're on YouTube right now, please subscribe to WWDBTV so more of this delightful programming, not only ours, but all the other programs that are brought on WWDBTV can be brought to you. And as well as, do you want to be on 3? Go to www.three.vegas and click on the How to Be on 3 page and then fill out the form, and we'd be delighted to schedule you for our next taping of 3. We're going to be back in just a minute with our guest, Tommy.
Hi, I'm Carrie with Premier Showgirls. I book real live Las Vegas showgirls for corporate events, trade shows, all sizes and types of events. I also work with some of the best celebrity impersonators in town: Elvis, Marilyn, Rat Pack, Frank, and Dean. We book stilt walkers, go-go dancers, all kinds of entertainers. So if you need some Vegas glitz and glam for your event, call me, Carrie, at Premier Showgirls.
Welcome back. Tommy, we have you live here on 3. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you. Nice to see you all. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great. So the way this is going to work is you're going to ask us a specific question, and then you're going to choose which one of us you'd like to have answer the question first. And then you're going to, after she's done answering your question, then you're going to choose the person that you'd like to have answer the question second. And then by default, whoever's quote, quote, left over will answer your question last. So tell us what your question is.
It was hard to try to come up with a question, and it was love, money, but I figure I could always make money. So what do you see happening in my love life maybe within the next 3 to 6 months?
Awesome. Okay, now who would you like to have answer the question first?
How about we start with Tammy?
All right, Tammy, you go, girl.
Okay. It's a pleasure to be in service to you, first of all. I'm very grateful and appreciative for that. And what I get is that the love you're looking for is the love that you need to find within yourself. If you can't give yourself love, if you can't give yourself respect, if you can't give yourself kindness, you're going to go outside looking for it. And you may find something that appears to be that way, but it's not going to be joyful and satisfying to you. And you're still going to feel like you're missing something. And that's because it has to come from you. And then you get to share it with somebody else. And I get the sense that like you hold yourself back. Like there's a part of you that doesn't exactly believe in yourself as much as it feels like you've accomplished a lot, but that hasn't even like brought you to the spectacularness of noting who and what you are and how spectacular you are and how amazing your energy actually is. And I get the sense you just hold it back. You have a lot of love to give to somebody, but you're looking for it from somebody instead of sharing it between 2 people. And that has to come from you first. You have to love you. And there's no reason you shouldn't, because you're an amazing person with a lot of amazing things to share with somebody. But you really have to give that to yourself first. And I get the sense that you find it easier to give it to somebody else than you, but you deserve just as much, if not more, than what you could give to somebody else to give to yourself. That's really what like comes to me very solid and very clearly, that you're starting to wake up to really remember who and what you are, which is not just, somebody having a day-to-day life in a body. The realizations that, you are something bigger than the small-minded capacity that we've been told to believe in. And as you're waking up to that, you need to wake up more and more to the love of oneself.
Wow, pretty intense stuff.
profound. Thank you.
All right, Tommy, who
I
would
like
you
your energy though.
like?
It's
Thank you so
flowy,
much.
and it's
Thank you.
genuine, and I appreciate that. Don't
Thank
hold
you,
yourself
Tammy.
back though. I mean, you have a lot to say, share it. Don't care what anybody else says. It doesn't matter. It's not their your life is not about them.
All right, Tommy,
Thank
who would
you.
you have answer the question next?
How about Chris? Hi, Chris.
Hey, hi Tommy.
He's like,
Hi.
So have you ever had your chart read before?
I haven't.
Okay, great. So you are an Aries sun sign, so that's based upon your day of birth. But then you're also a Cancer rising, and that's based upon your day of birth, your exact location, and the exact time you were born. So it's very specific to you. So if you were to read the characteristics of a Cancer, they would closely resonate. And then also too, like your horoscope, if you were to read the Cancer horoscope, that would align more closely than if you were to read an Aries. However, I will say that you have a lot of placements in your chart in the sign of Aries, so you're very much an Aries. And so both would resonate very closely with you as far as the characteristics. When I see a Cancer rising, I love, that's probably one of my favorite risings. Naturally intuitive, and so it's more something that's kind of like instinctual for you. So if you follow your instincts, they're always like right on. And another thing that I love so much about Cancer risings is they're usually really good cooks. Like they're homemakers, they're homebodies. So they have this way of making people feel very welcome whenever they do come into their environment. And so they're usually very accommodating. Empathic is another word that comes to mind, is very intuitive, very empathic, able to kind of pick up the subtleties that maybe other people aren't so aware of. So the things that aren't oblivious, that definitely you have this kind of natural way of kind of going about your day where you can pick up on the um, subtleties of others. And then also there's this placement that talks about having a very high EQ. So being able to kind of like read the room or read people, especially kind of like on an emotional level. So I want to go up to the top of your chart, and the top of your chart is your 10th house. It's also, it's a very sensitive part of your chart. It's how people see us as far as like our, what we're known for in this lifetime, our public reputation. It also rules our career. And you have what is called a double stellium, which is means you have a lot of placements that are just packed in that area of your chart. And so that they're packed in the sign of Aries and Taurus, but they're also up in that 10th house. That would be very focused on career and public reputation. And I'm going to use a phrase that Mona uses with me, but you're like a dog with a bone. When you get an idea or when you want something, like you just eagerly go after it, and it's like you're just laser focused on it, especially if it's anything involving career or work or something. I mean, you're just a dog with a bone, like a bloodhound for it. And so very focused and directed there. Sometimes what that can be is when we have so much when we have a stellium, especially in this case where you have so many placements in one area of your chart, you tend to give a lot of focus there. And so then other areas of your life don't really, they don't flow, or you don't put the energy in the other areas. And so that's where I'm going to go into answering your question. You have this opportunity coming. You're going to start feeling this influence probably within the next, I'm going to say probably 4 months. It's going to get really strong, and it's going to make you feel like you're more open to opportunities, like things that maybe you had like a one-track mind on one certain area or certain kind of part of your life. Well, now in the next probably give it 4 to 6 months. You're going to start feeling very open-minded to other things. And because of this open-mindedness, this is going to attract a lot of opportunities your way. And it's going to take you places that you really probably didn't imagine, especially if you have any interest in foreign travel. It could definitely take you, to different countries or different parts of the world, or connections with people from other cultures that maybe you didn't anticipate. But basically, this transit is going to open your mind, and because of that, you're going to be like, if you've ever seen that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, think of
Carrey, yeah.
like Yes Man, like he's all these opportunities in this life came to him because he was open to it. And so you're coming into this phase of the yes man phase. And then with that, you're going to be open to more opportunities for love, for romance. And this actually is more so, this feels very lighthearted too. So it might be that there's opportunities for like casual dating. Not to say that that there isn't one for serious, but this is like very fun. Like, let's see where this relationship will take us. And so there's going to be a lot of opportunities that come your way, and it actually comes from you just being open to this life and this new way of thinking and just open-mindedness. So yes man phase coming for you.
I love that movie.
I
That's
do
one of
too.
my favorite movies on the planet. Yes Man. Oh my God.
There's such a
Funny.
great message in it too.
Oh my God. Have you seen it, Tommy?
I have, yes, with Jim Carrey, yes.
Oh, so there's like 3 or 4 movies that I like to recommend to people when they're feeling a little stuck and kind of want to be inspired. That's one of them. The other 3 are a movie called The Scout with Albert Brooks and Brendan Fraser. It's about Albert Brooks finding this amazing baseball player, and it's just a beautiful movie the way that plays out. Another one of my favorites is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh my God, I love that movie. I love the music in it. I love the message in it. That everything leads to where you actually need to be. I just love that movie. And then a movie that was Angelina Jolie's probably least popular movie was a movie called Life or Something Like It.
Oh, I just watched that one like last week.
It's a great movie.
It really is.
It's where she's kind of a I guess sort of shallow news reporter. That's kind of how she comes across. And she's talking to a street prophet, and the street prophet tells her she's going to die in a week. And this is the beginning of the movie, so it's not like I'm giving away a big plot. But the way the movie unfolds is actually wonderful. Now, I have to tell you, I glanced at your chart when the fabulous Chris was explaining it to you, and I also was paying very close attention to what Tammy was saying to you. I'm going to full disclosure. You've called my radio program a couple of times, so I have a little familiarity with your energy. I'm going to be really curious to see what the cards come up today with you. But one of the things that I would love you to do, and it's a task before I turn the cards over, is I would love you to do some sort of activity that you love. All right. I like to suggest going to the SPCA and petting the puppies and kittens, just because you're petting a puppy or a kitten and you're getting back absolutely unconditional love from that spirit. Right. I also think that we are our spiritual guides, and that we are drawn to, and the animals are drawn to us because they need to be a part of our life, and you need to be a part of their life. So there's my 2 cents there. So I'm laying out my whole deck.
So watch The Lion King.
Oh, and then the Lion King. Okay, hold on.
It's my favorite movie.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I know your favorite song is the Kermit
The
Rainbow
Rainbow
Song.
Connection. That's
Rainbow
right, by
Connection.
Kermit the Frog.
by Kermit the Frog.
And The Lion King is my favorite movie.
All right, you ready? Okay.
Yes.
So
Sorry, Tommy, I'm a child.
Okay.
child, you're childlike, not a child.
No, I'm a child.
Okay. All right, whatever. Okay. You have some very, very strong cards here. So the first card is a card called integration. It means that there's so much information that comes to you all the time that sometimes your face shows confusion when you actually are pointed in a direction. So I'm going to agree with what Chris says, that when you have an idea in your head, that nothing stops you until you get that idea in your head. But what it's saying here is that the calmer you are, the more magnetic you become and the more attractive you become. So the card called integration means that you present this very calm face, but it is a calm face that has the balance of masculine and feminine. It's the calm face that has knowledge of what they have no control over. It's also that knowing that there's good and evil in the world, and you can be above the good and evil without actually participating in either one. You can just be still and yourself and authentic. And when you get to that point, realizing all those things, then divine inspiration comes to you very organically, very easily. There's a deep letting go of a past relationship here. So the card next to the integration card is this card of letting go of a relationship that you've had in your radar for a really long time. And I do believe that your karmic responsibility or your karmic lesson connected to that relationship has been over for a while, and your intellectual side needs to agree with it. And that when your intellectual side agrees with it, then you can also let your emotional side agree with it. You have the most powerful card anyone could get in a reading, and it's called completion. In traditional tarot, this card's called the World. It's the most powerful card in the deck. Now you have it in a position that says there's something you need to accomplish before you really step into your power to do that. Sometimes it's a licensing or accreditation or some sort of project you need to finish, but then it leads to you being in charge of something or your own entrepreneur in some way. Sometimes I see these two cards together. Like I could have gotten these two cards right before I got my license to do this professionally, and then gave myself permission to do it, and identified myself with that identity. You also have to stop worrying about money. You also have to stop worrying about there's any lack in your life. If you can look at what's going on with you right now as though it's perfect, the perfect foundation for you to move forward, everything shifts. Now, it's really interesting because there's a little prayer I like to give to people, and it's super simple. And it's, Dear Spirit, thank you for the blessings in my life. And for you, I pray to be guided to peace, purpose, prosperity, and partnership. Thank you for your loving help. Amen. And then you watch for the signs that the universe is trying to bring that to you. The universe has been trying to bring that to you for some time, but it is not, according to your reading today, anyone connected to the past or anyone you know now. This is somebody brand new, and you're going to be very surprised by how your feelings are. Like, let's say you're usually attracted to someone with dark hair and dark eyes. This person could have blonde hair and blue eyes, and you wouldn't give them a second look, but initially, because they don't look like what you're normally attracted to. According to this, you're going to find that it's like you've never tried mint chip ice cream before. You've always had vanilla ice cream. Now you try mint chip ice cream and you go, oh my God, this is the most fabulous ice cream on the planet. That's what it's going to feel like. So whatever that past relationship was that you're holding all other potential relationships to, this next relationship blows past any of your expectations, because if you go into no expectation, the universe brings you exactly what you want. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right. Now, we all kind of like to jump in and collaborate here at the end. So, all right, ladies, jump in.
Well, I love that you said that it was unexpected and someone new. That's exactly what I was seeing too, with that yes man energy, like going into being open-minded.
Right.
So that would definitely resonate with, hey, I have a type. Well,
no,
you don't. Maybe open yourself up to maybe
you might not have a type.
Right. Yeah. And that's because of that, it's going to bring in so many new opportunities, and they're just going to be so unexpected of where it takes you.
Absolutely.
And the people you meet and the connections you make.
Do you read?
Do I read?
Yeah.
People
they like to read, and some people they don't like to read.
I do like to read. I like to learn.
You like to remember. We learn nothing. How can we learn what we already know? Anyways, I only recommend this book really to certain people, but I think you're ready for it. And it's called Communications with God. And it's not what you think it is. And it's by Neil Donald Welsh.
Okay.
And I suggest that you consider getting it, because I don't like to tell people what to do. I don't like
Fair
to be
enough.
told what to do. But I think you're
Communications with
ready
God.
for it. And I think it's going to not only intrigue you, but confirm things that you've already experienced in your life to be true, and get you to kind of look at them on an even deeper, more truer level. And I'll be interested actually to what you think about it. So maybe when you're done with it, you could let us know how it went. And
Sounds
I
good.
encourage you to read the first 21 pages and then decide if you're ready to move on or not. And there's 4 books that are in that trilogy, and it's interesting. I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to read it, and then you're going to get into the other ones that take it even to an even deeper. It's there's no words to this. I mean, we're so limited in our words that we have here. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. But I think you're ready for it, and I think it's what you need. And actually, I think it's more of what you're searching for than a love outside of yourself.
Okay.
That was
Thank
a
you.
very good statement. So one of the things that I want to bring up here while we still have you on the air with us is that each one of us are available for a private session with you. Tammy's specialty is intuitive clinical hypnotherapy. So one of the things that she can do is she can go through and help you get past your own limitations, help you get out of your way and become your most authentic self, relax into your most authentic self. And Chris, your chart is I'm looking at your chart here. I've never seen a chart like yours before, where everything seems to point to the top. Well, I always get the impression, and I'm not an astrologer, but I can look at a chart and I get an immediate intuitive impression. And the intuitive impression that I'm getting about your chart is everything is leading you to spirit. Every single quest, every single desire, every single thing is leading you to spirit. And that I feel sometimes that you get to a certain point in your life and, oh my gosh, I have to cross that bridge into spirit. Well, I'm going to now distract myself and go over here. And then I'm going to work until I get to that point. And then, oh no, I have to cross that bridge to spirit. And then you go over something else. Because when I look at your chart, you've got all these natural gifts that are right here in your chart. And I keep getting this vibe that you stop yourself. So I would highly recommend that you invest in yourself and have a session with Tammy and a session with Chris, just because I really do think you're on that brink of crossing that bridge. And I'm going to call that bridge fear.
Okay.
That's correct. You can see it when you look at you in your authentic self. You see a scared little boy. But I think that book is going to move you in a way I don't think you can see right now. And I know everybody hears, oh, conversations with God, but I believe me when I tell you it's not anything that you would think of
Right.
when someone says that.
Right. Is there anything else you want to ask us before we let you go, Tommy?
No, it was great, and it's nice to see you in your face, Mona, instead of talking to you on the phone. I hope the show works out for you. I
Oh, you're
tried
sweet.
calling the radio show, and I saw. I guess you're not doing it anymore.
So my radio broadcast is on hiatus right now. I'm looking for a
Okay.
new home for it. It might be here on WWDBTV. We got to work out some details to make that happen. But what makes my radio program so authentic is I don't know the callers when they call in, but I have a hard time finding a place where these random calls can call in, and I don't know who they are, because with most podcasts you have to set up the call in advance, and it doesn't make it so, what's the word? Real. Because if I know your name, I know your phone number, I know your email address, technically I can find out a lot about you. But what makes it so wonderful about people calling into the radio program is I don't know a thing about you. And then I can
Right.
tell you something that's meaningful for you. That's where I kind of get my jollies, is
Yeah.
tuning into my own intuition. So I still have to find a home for that. But it's sweet of you to ask. Thank you so much. And thank you
Yeah.
so much for being on the program, Tommy. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much
So,
for having me, ladies.
all right. Now,
Grateful.
Tammy, how can people get a hold of you if they want a session with you?
Well, they can either go to my website, which is tammyreutman.com, or they can call my office at 702-222-1812, or I think I'm on your website.
On the 3.Vegas website.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah.
one.
And then Chris, how can people get a hold of you?
Pretty much the same way.
Okay.
My website. I
What,
have
my
a couple.
number? I don't know.
Website, you can call me. I'm on the 3.Vegas website, but my website is theastrocowgirl.com. I also have another one, astro-cowgirl.com. And so I can be reached there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. You can reach me by phone. And also you can find me on the 3.Vegas website.
Okay, so I'd like to repeat, www.three.vegas is how you can get a hold of any of us. My website is www.mona.vegas. So that's how you can get a hold of me if you'd like to have a reading. I'd like to thank John Stiles again for helping us have this amazing program here on his beautiful station. Please subscribe to YouTube, WWDBTV on YouTube, so that more of this amazing programming can come your way. I want to thank Tammy and Chris for being a part of this wonderful broadcast, and we will see you next time. The cast members of 3 are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. 3 is presented to you for your entertainment.